there, guys! Today is a very special day. Can you guess what day it is? It's the day where we celebrate the men in our lives that raise us, that shape us, that always have our back through this confusing mess called life. That's right, it's the Fiction Addiction 25th episode special. That's right, excluding top 10s, recommendation videos, recently scenes and crossovers, this is my 25th main episode. That might not sound like a lot to you over the course of 3 years plus, and you're kinda right, but it is a lot to me, and I am very thankful that you're still watching. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for taking this whole day just to celebrate me and my little internet show. Oh right, it's Father's Day. But you know what, let's roll with that actually. Shows like these, and indeed pretty much all of media, always makes a huge fuss about Mother's Day. Like, you should call your mother, you'll break her heart if you don't call her on Mother's Day. And it's true, but what about the dads? Don't they deserve some love too? Yeah, you know what, let's do this. Let's do something about Father's Day, but I can't really think of a movie that both fits the Father's Day theme and the whole 25 episodes thing. So I'm a little... Oh. Alright, film history time. In 1987, a thriller film called The Stepfather was released. This movie detailed the exploits of a crazy serial killer who married single mothers only to kill them along with their children when they inevitably failed to live up to his impossible 1950s sitcom standard of perfect family life. Whenever this happened, he would then change his identity and move on to the next single mother he met. It was hardly a gigantic hit or one of the best thrillers ever made or anything, but thanks to, among other things, Terry O'Quinn's fantastic performance as the stepfather, it became an effective little spook piece and quite the cult classic among horror and thriller fans. But this was the late 80s and studios were still trying to keep the slasher craze alive, so of course Stepfather got a sequel. I don't remember much of it other than the climax taking place during a wedding, but I remember liking it fine enough. And then in 1992, 25 years ago, it got a second sequel. That went straight to TV. And replaced Terry O'Quinn, who was largely regarded as like 80% of what made the original movie work. Oh boy. Well, the movie starts with a mysterious figure, obviously the stepfather, slogging through rainy streets after somehow surviving taking a claw hammer to the chest at the end of the second movie. Here he visits a back alley plastic surgeon and pays him to, definitely totally realistically, completely restructure his entire face so he can avoid the authorities. For the record, this is obviously a stretch even with the crazy things plastic surgery can accomplish, but that doesn't keep the movie from using footage from actual plastic surgery in the whole montage. Gross. Yeah, you sure you still want that nose job? In any case, the stepfather sticks around for a while to heal, which doesn't exactly please the surgeon.
You know, this ain't no damn hotel I'm running here. It was never a part of our deal for you to stay here until you're completely healed. I mean, this ain't no damn room service and...
Are you serious? This is the threatening moment that's supposed to remind us how dangerous the guy is? This is supposed to scare me? Look at this! He instantly complies like a beaten dog! It looks more like that was the surgeon's last juice box and he's just completely flabbergasted that the stepfather had the gall to raid his fridge. I mean, what were they thinking? Like, you can't just show some guy eating a random food item and throw a bunch of blue filters on it and then count on that being scary, you know? Okay, what the hell do you think you're doing? This isn't the movie we agreed on for a 25th episode special! You can't just change things as you want when you... Once his face is fully healed, the stepfather then murders the surgeon and leaves. We then cut to a small idyllic town on Easter Sunday where children are happily collecting eggs and- Whoa! Hold up! Hold the phone! Maximum redness coming through!
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh my god! Will you look at this kid? He looks like the 80s threw up on him and then tried to wipe it off with an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Tricked out wheels, rad sneakers, neon water bottle, patterned pants, bright pink shirt, bitchin' shades, tubular headphones, and would you look at that head bob? Oh, you know he's listening to some true vanilla ice gangsta shit in there somewhere.
Take a chunk of the funk, keep the sack in my trunk, yeah.
Later when Pokemon rolls around, he'll get all the hologram cards and catch Mew in like a week. And you know he's rad as fuck, because he's rad enough to dare to be rad while riding something as non-rad as a wheelchair, which of course makes him double rad! Anyway, this is Andy, and wouldn't you know it, he has a single mother named Christine who has her eyes set on, well, the Easter Bunny, played this year by the recently hired gardener named Keith, which her friend certainly notices.
Do you think he's married? Well, I think you better find out. And if he's not, remember, rabbits are supposed to be very fertile.
Well, that was a pretty gross thing to say. On the other hand, I guess this just proves that kinky people come in all shapes, sizes, and age groups. You know what? Good on you, lady. You do you, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So Christine hits on the friendly Keith and they start to dance. But then, her angry ex comes by and interrupts it and says he wants to date again and that he wants them to be a family, and you know what? Fuck this. You guys are way too smart to fall for this bullshit. Keith is the stepfather and this douche is a red herring. Yeah, shocking, I know. Oh shit, he's drinking soft drinks again! By the end of this movie, he'll have murdered a person for every Snapple flavor. We also see that Radical Rex over here is apparently friends with the local priest, Father Brennan, as they bond over solving fictional murder mysteries together.
Hey boss,
Yeah, what?
what do you want all these Catholic preachers hang out with young boys jokes?
What, we still carry those? Okay, put him with the yo mamas and the that's what she says. We're not gonna be using any of those for a while anyway. Father Brennan is like the coolest old guy ever. Not because he does anything too badass in the movie or anything. He's just a super nice guy and Andy clearly loves him and he makes me smile every time he's on screen, so deal with it. So naturally Keith and Christine start to hit it off. He brings flowers to her workplace so she can ignore the children she's supposed to be teaching, and they start sharing family secrets. Like how Andy lost the use of his legs after a car accident when his real father wasn't paying attention.
Keith, they all said the same thing, that he should be able to walk, that physically he can. But they don't know. They think it's psychosomatic or something.
Oh, no, don't mind me. I'm just admiring this foreshadow. Naturally, Christine's aggressive ex appears and threatens Keith to stay away from her.
Well, Mark, I understand. After all, you were there first, weren't you?
Yeah. Glad you see it my way. Well, look, pal, no hard feelings, huh? No offense?
None taken. I'm not your pal.
I'm not your friend, buddy!
And just to be a dick, I guess, he then buries the guy in the flower bed where he works. Because there's no way the body will ever be found that way, right? Andy isn't entirely too fond of Keith, however, and confides about this to Father Brennan.
What he means well, and there's just something that bugs me about him. I mean, he's a real cornball, a real square.
He's a what, a square? What, has Andy been hanging out in Max Goofy's coffee shop or something? Meanwhile, things are starting to get hot and heavy between Keith and Christine.
Oh, but I want to make love to you.
Not until it's right. Not until we're a family.
Okay, I gotta say, as creepy and manipulative as we can all agree that the stepfather is, these ladies have got to be the most easily impressed women in the world. In every movie, this guy seems to just waltz up to any single mother he finds, pull his Scarlett G. Willikers act for a minute or two, and then marry them within a couple weeks. Like, he doesn't even try to shape himself and his interests based on what he knows they like or anything. He just keeps right on playing Ward Cleaver. And it somehow works every damn time. Meanwhile, the closest thing I have to dating experience is being kicked in the shin because I accidentally sat too close to a girl once. But yeah, Andy still isn't buying Keith's act and is especially tired of being treated like a damn baby. To the point where he even has a mobile over his bed? What the hell? But everything goes to hell when Keith badgers him into a round of football in the yard and knocks him off his chair.
Andy, get up and walk to me now.
I can't, you're crazy!
Yes, you can. Now you get right up. You get up.
I can't, stop it!
Yes, you can. You just don't want to, do you?
No, I can't!
Here, stop that damn whining.
Say, have I ever told you guys that I'm afraid of jellyfish? Well, I am. Like, big ones, small ones, poisonous, non-poisonous, doesn't matter. They freak me out. So as you can imagine, beach trips get a little difficult. Well, when I was 13 or 14, my dad decided that he would lure me out in the water with the promise that there was no jellyfish, and sure enough, there were none as I went out there. Once I got to the spot he wanted me to go to, however, I suddenly found myself surrounded by a horde of jellyfish that varied in size from my pinky to my torso. I pretty much broke the laws of physics trying to run back to shore. Now, why would I be telling you this story? Well, simply put, I'm telling you this story to make one thing crystal fucking clear. Even with the best intentions, even without being a psychotic mass murderer with a family fetish, trying to pull this kind of home-cooked exposure therapy thanks to some bullshit pocket psychology falls pretty squarely in the dick move territory. Don't do it! A while later, Andy's biological father comes by to offer Andy to stay with him and his family over the summer, though Keith is convinced that won't happen.
And I'll certainly stand by Andy's wishes, but you're going to be disappointed. Andy's home is with us. He wants to be here.
I'm sure gonna miss you, Mom.
So then Keith has one of the typical psychotic stepfather freakouts in the backyard over this, and the next day he sets his sight on a new woman as he often does.
I'm Jennifer Ashley. I called about your cottage in the ad.
I'm gonna take my lunch break now and show my cottage to these nice folks.
You make sure you show it to her real good. You know what I mean, Keithy?
Hey, boss.
What?
Got a bunch of extra real good jokes here.
Rolling with the rest of the shit! Naturally, Keith and Jennifer start to hit it off, walking right past Keith's first victim, who I wonder how the hell hasn't been declared missing yet.
And that flower bed is so incredible. You must really have a green thumb.
Well, I use a special fertilizer.
Okay, that is actually a pretty fun way to call someone a piece of shit, so he gets brownie points for that one. So, yeah, as you can imagine, things are starting to get complicated for Keith, who keeps romancing Jennifer as a sort of backup for if he decides to get rid of Christine. Meanwhile, at his father's place, Andy sees a police report on the stepfather killings and the theory that he may have had surgery, which one can tell by scars behind the ears, which he knows for a fact that Keith has. He decides to take a picture of the old mugshot and oh my god. A bright pink and yellow camera. Man, if this kid gets any more red, he's gonna give us all radiation poisoning. Christine is starting to get just a little bit suspicious of Keith's behavior at home, and his boss soon makes it clear that he knows he's two-timing his wife. Keith naturally keeps a clear head and has a calm, rational discussion with the man about this that involves the sharp end of a rake.
Silence is golden, Mr. Thompson.
Oh yeah? Well, what does that make your one-liners? Tinfoil? Keith is just about ready to murder Christine, only to discover that Andy has come back home, making him hold off on it now that his family is fixed. He does call Andy Nicky in a brief slip, however, making Christine wonder what that was about. And wouldn't you know it, Jennifer then enrolls her son into Christine's school the very next day. You know, her son who is named Nicky. Andy, meanwhile, poses his theory that Keith is actually the family serial killer to Father Brennan, and after quite a bit of arguing, he convinces the elderly priest to help him in his investigation. They do this by inviting Father Brennan over for dinner and stealing Keith's fork, hoping to compare his fingerprints to those last associated with the killer. Because a 10-year-old boy and an old priest are gonna get access to those, right? Keith, of course, quickly catches on to this. He makes up a bullshit excuse to leave and follows Father Brennan and viciously beats him to death before setting fire to his car and sending it over the edge of a cliff. Andy is naturally devastated when he hears the news and gives a beautiful eulogy at his funeral.
I just wanted to say thank you. My friend. All the times you played with me and made me laugh.
Oh, jeez. I'm sitting here trying to make fun of this movie, but this part is actually almost genuinely sad.
You were always there when I needed you. You were like a father to me. I miss you. I love you, Father Brennan. Goodbye.
Christine spots Jennifer at the funeral and, deciding to finally figure out what's going on, asks if she can talk to her later that evening in an attempt to clear everything up. Before she leaves, Andy tries to break his theory to her by, among other things, mentioning the scars behind Keith's ears.
Maybe Keith isn't who he says he is. I mean, maybe he's really someone else.
Yeah. Well, with any luck, maybe he's really Kevin Costner. Or Tom Cruise.
Sorry, lady. Tom Cruise is busy fucking up another mommy at the moment. She dismisses Andy's worries that Keith might hurt her, but when Jennifer calls to cancel their meeting because her boyfriend called her about an emergency, she clearly starts putting two and two together, and her and Andy head off to find Keith. Meeting in the plant nursery, Keith tries to break things off with Jennifer the gentlest way he knows how. By beating her to shit and attempting to throw in a wood chipper so she can't endanger his family anymore, of course. What else? While Christine interrupts this little moment and is attacked by Keith, Andy finds the fork Father Brennan stole in the family car, and then manages to drag himself and his wheelchair out of it to go help his mother. Tough kid. And when he sees Keith get ready to throw his mom in the wood chipper, well... Well, he went and did it. He broke my coolness radar. So, yeah, mildly inconveniencing the psychotic killer obviously doesn't work, and he chases him through the nursery plants.
Andy, where are you? Come to Daddy.
Hey boss, we got some Where's Your Daddy?
Throw it with the rest! Andy manages to escape up a huge ladder, but Keith is in hot pursuit when...
Come on, Slugger.
So he's, like, super definitely actually dead now, right? And thus, with the stepfather finally defeated, Andy and his two moms walk off to return to their normal lives.
Happy Father's Day, slugger.
Well, everybody, that's Stepfather 3. It's ridiculous, it's over the top, it's dumber than a barrel of bricks, it's incompetently acted and directed, and I kind of love it. I mean, make no mistake, this thing blows, especially compared to the first Stepfather movie, but fuck me if it isn't entertaining as all hell. It completely fails to grasp what made the original Stepfather work in like 15 different ways, and then does everything in its power to show you all 15 of those on screen, and it is glorious. It's not going to the top of any lists of so bad they're good cult classics anytime soon, but I definitely get a good laugh out of it. And with that, I want to wish you all a happy Father's Day. Remember to call your dad or your stepdad or whatever father figure you have in your life and tell them how awesome you think they are. And I'll be sitting here waiting for you for the next bunch of episodes. So have a great day, slugger. Holy shit, 25 episodes plus other videos. This is so cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and please remember to like and share the video and leave me a comment. And if you're new and want to see more, please subscribe and get ready for 25 more of these. See you guys later.